After countless days, weeks, months, even years of pain and suffering awaiting news about the next Halo game, it seems that the wait is almost over. That's right, we are officially 7 days away from Microsoft's E3 press conference.
7 days.
It will be broadcasted on Sunday, June 9th at 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Twitch, YouTube, Mixer, and anywhere else E3 is viewable. But as Halo fans, what can we expect to see this year at Microsoft's self-proclaimed biggest E3 presence ever? I am your host, the irrelevant and opportunistic Rehab, and today we will be making some obvious and not so obvious predictions for what we can expect from Halo Infinite at Microsoft's E3 press conference. But before we begin, I need you to stop what you're doing and to like this video. Studies show that liking a video before watching it results in a 100% more likelihood that you will in fact like the video. It also allows me to get more likes on this video before you inevitably watch it and decide that you in fact do not like the video. And while you're down there liking my videos against your will, pound that subscribe button like it's your middle school crush that you never had a fair chance with. You were fat and ugly back then, and she wouldn't give you the chance you deserved. But now you're slightly less fat and slightly less ugly, ready to pound that subscribe button with an earth-shattering pelvic thrust even a Spartan would be impressed with. We put out one new Halo video every Sunday, so don't miss out on your weekly dose of the best Halo content on YouTube. What was that? We didn't do a Halo video last week? Whatever. You probably didn't notice anyway. There are a plethora of loyal fans here that spend their Sundays waiting for our weekly video to go live. Well, there has to be at least one of you, right? I apologize for getting this one out so late, but my dad had me laying mulch in the yard. As you become an adult, you'll quickly realize that there are really only 2 days a week worth living for. And your parents will do everything in their power to ruin those days for you too. Life lessons with Rehab. Okay, I'm done talking in circles about nothing, so let's get into some juicy E3 predictions. Now this first one is less of a prediction and more of a guarantee. It is confirmed that Halo Infinite will be at E3, and with that, we will be getting some sort of story trailer. I expect some sort of AAA trailer with a little actual in-game footage watermark on it. I'm sure Microsoft will be touting the new Slipspace engine and how great the game looks and runs in the trailer. I don't think it'll be too detailed, but I expect it'll provide some sort of setting for the campaign. Probably outlining our current situation as we deal with hunting our crazy AI ex-girlfriend as she does everything in her power to make sure our new relationship does not work out. Next, I think that Halo Infinite will be extremely intertwined with the rumored announcement of the next generation Xbox, codename Xbox Anaconda. With the new engine being built for this game, alongside the new trailer we'll inevitably see, and speculation that the next box and Infinite will be dropping in fall 2020, I think Microsoft will be using Halo Infinite as a huge selling point on the next generation. It is confirmed that it will be out on the Xbox One, even if it is an Anaconda title. But I'm sure they will make it clear that the game is breathtakingly beautiful on the next generation. It wouldn't surprise me if Halo Infinite is a launch title for the next gen console. But even if it's not, I think Infinite will come shortly after, and Microsoft will make sure you know it's better on the next gen. With Infinite being confirmed for PC, they might even try and hype Infinite on the Anaconda as being even better than the PC counterpart. Next, I think that Microsoft will squash the rumor that campaign and multiplayer will be released separately. There was a rumor that the campaign portion would be releasing in 2019, and multiplayer coming later in 2020. This might have been discussed at one point, as Halo fans have been antsy waiting for the next iteration in the franchise. Maybe they realized they couldn't get it all done by 2019, but they would be able to drop part of it to hold fans over until the rest is finished a year later. This could still happen, but I think Microsoft realizes that this is a bad idea. Halo is Microsoft's flagship franchise, and it needs to be treated as such. Especially with the past few games being underwhelming at best, Microsoft cannot afford to split Halo Infinite from an enormous AAA release to essentially two separate, smaller games. I also expect Microsoft to comment on the $500 million budget rumor. Why? Because E3 is all about hyping your games up as much as humanly possible. Does a $500 million budget mean much? Not really. It doesn't mean the game will be better, but hearing the next Halo has an enormous budget really gets the juices flowing.
Hey, chicka bum bum.
At the very least, it means that Microsoft is serious about expending as many resources as necessary to make Halo Infinite the best game it can be. And that is the type of hype and excitement Microsoft is looking to give its players. At the end of the day, this doesn't mean the game is going to be good, and we need to see some gameplay before we can really make any judgments. And that brings me to the next prediction. I do not think we will see any gameplay. This is something I want to see more than anything else. I need to see some gameplay to make a judgment on this game. But I just don't see that happening. Assuming we're still about a year and a half away from release, I think it's too early for Microsoft and 343 to show gameplay. I'm sure they have playable builds within the studio, but I bet it's not anywhere near polished enough to show the world yet. If my memory serves me right, the first Halo 5 gameplay I saw was at an HCS tournament, where 343 let the pros play a show match of Halo 5 a few months before the beta went live. It wouldn't surprise me if that happens again for Halo Infinite, at a 343 run HCS grassroots tournament, but I don't expect any sort of gameplay next week. I also think it's too early for any sort of huge HCS prize pool announcements or any confirmation on crossplay between Xbox and PC. That might be something we can expect at next year's E3. With crossplay between PC players on keyboard and mouse and Xbox players on a controller being a heavily debated and controversial topic, I don't think Microsoft will be willing to comment with a response that will potentially anger a certain section of the player base this early before release. And I think that's about all the predictions I'm willing to make for next week's Microsoft press conference at E3. Hopefully, they come out with some awesome, unpredictable news for Halo Infinite, but I'm not sure what that will look like right now. I'm sure the trailer they drop is going to be action-packed, and I can only hope it's so good that I soil my panties. Next week's video will go live after the press conference, so I can share my thoughts on the Halo Infinite announcements and reactions to the trailer. If you don't want to miss that, be sure to subscribe and be on the lookout for future content. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Later.